Welcome to this week's edition of CEO Corner. I'm Otis Rawl, President and CEO of the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce, and we're happy to have Mary Ann Jacobs with the South Carolina Cable TV Association with us today. Mary Ann, welcome and glad to have you at the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Otis, thank you so much. I am so impressed with the office facilities and, of course, obviously everything that the Chamber is doing for South Carolina as well. But thank you for being here.
I need to thank you, too, for serving on the board, and but more important than that, thank you for being the premier sponsor for South Carolina Business Week this year up in Presbyterian College. So we the folks at the Chamber and the students that will be there really appreciate that.
We know the Business Week is something that we've always felt was a catalyst for students in South Carolina high schools to get an idea of what they want to do when they grow up. I don't know about you, Otis, but I didn't know till I was about 36. I finally went, this is what I want to do when I grow up. But I think that Business Week provides an opportunity for students to understand what happens inside an environment and a corporation or even an entrepreneurial position, and it really is a benefit for the South Carolina Cable Television Association to be involved with it.
Well, I think one of the questions that business and students are always asking, where are the jobs going to be? What are y'all finding in the job market, particularly from a telecommunications standpoint, from a broadcast standpoint? What type of characteristics are you looking in kids to be your next employees? What type of jobs could be created in the marketplace? As we talk to these kids during Business Week, what should we be telling them, at least from the Cable TV Association standpoint?
That's a great question. We are looking for innovators.
Okay.
Of course, obviously, we always have a need for engineers and individuals strong in science and math. And so our industry looks for that in the educational environment. But we're looking for students and employees who can really fill a void in many different ways. So, and I do this so they're well-rounded, they're focused on working as a team and developing creative solutions to problems.
So how do you see the telecommunications market expanding over the next 5-10 years as these kids get out of high school, get out of the technical colleges, get out of four-year universities? What's the future look like for them?
Otis, that's almost a scary question, because if you think back on the last 7 years and what technology and really the cable industry has delivered to South Carolina and, of course, the nation, but we connect South Carolina to the world. If you look at broadband technology and such, and some of the technology that we're looking at now as an innovator of technology is something that we can just dream about. So we need students who are adaptable, flexible. We've always said the only thing that's constant in our industry is change. When you think about cable television in the 70s, we delivered 5 to 7 channels. Now we deliver thousands of opportunities for entertainment, and more importantly, as I said before, we connect South Carolina to the world. So,
well, let's talk about the Cable TV Association a little bit. How many people do y'all serve in South Carolina? How do they interact with each other? How do you overlap in territories if that happens? Talk about the association and what goes on.
Absolutely. When you said overlap in territories, I honestly went right to monopoly, because so many people believe that the cable industry is a monopoly. Yet there are numbers of communities in South Carolina where there are 3 providers, cable providers, let alone a telco or DirecTV or Dish. So it's a very competitive environment. In South Carolina, the members of the Cable Television Association connect over 1 million homes to broadband technology, cable television, and telephone. So it's an economic driver in South Carolina. We often don't tell our story. We as an industry spend and pay to the state in taxes and fees more than $10 million a year. And then locally to franchise authorities, the cities and the counties, another $10 million in taxes and fees.
Man, I think one of the things that we talk about is delivery of education, virtual schools, a choice in schools and things of that sort. How do you see the Cable TV Association working within the framework of education to deliver educational opportunities in the home for students and all, particularly for homeschoolers and things. Is that something that you're looking at down the road, or how does all that fit?
You know, Otis, we have been involved with cable in the classroom and delivering technology and experiential learning experiences to students for years. And so many homeschool students, but also public school and private school, use our resources to take a student outside of their comfort zone. And a number of the programmers have educational facilities and opportunities online for homeschool students and for teachers, again in the public and private schools, to use, so that, you know, I go back to an opportunity I had years and years and years ago when I hired a young lady from Conway. And I was running the cable systems in Myrtle Beach in the PD area. And this young lady had never left Conway. And we asked her to come to Columbia to a 6-week training program where we had all of our employees go through this program. And she had never left Conway, Otis. So we were able to, she brought her dad to check into the hotel. Our industry takes students outside of that comfort zone and shows them, whether it's through cable television or connecting through a broadband connection, what opportunities are available just even in our state, let alone internationally.
Well, I just know we appreciate the partnership that we've had with the South Carolina Cable TV Association and what y'all are doing for the students up in Business Week. So we appreciate y'all being the premier sponsor for this week, which Business Week will be July 15th through the 20th at Presbyterian College, and 200 of the best and brightest kids in South Carolina comes up there each year to do a business simulation model. They get leadership training. They understand what businesses are looking for when they start hiring employees. So you just can't underestimate what and how much we appreciate what the Cable TV Association is doing, because these kids really benefit from this, and they're our next leaders in business in South Carolina.
They are, Otis, and it's an investment by the association, and it's an investment by the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce. And I would encourage other associations and other entities across South Carolina to either provide a scholarship for a student. This is one opportunity in South Carolina that could touch every community in South Carolina and bring those students together. We're very proud to sponsor it.